Hello, Eurovision friends and Kai fans, probably. Thank you for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. If you like Bara Bada Bastu by Kai, the Swedish entry for Eurovision 2025, this video might be for you because I want to recommend some more songs by this great group that I discovered diving into their discography. Post-Eurovision depression hit pretty hard this year because I was not really agreeing with the results. I thought Kai or Luan were going to win, and I thought, how can I fight this post-Eurovision depression? And I did it by diving into the discography of some of these artists, and I want to share that with you. A lot of you recommended Kai songs to me as well, so tack and kiitos for that. A lot of them are included in this list, and there's something going on that really makes me connect to a lot of these messages and the songs as well. I love songs that have a story, that tell a story, that are a bit fun as well. There's a German guy who does something quite similar that I also discovered this year. So if you speak German, I'll leave the name in the description and you can discover that as well. But there's something else here too. I'm also from a small village in a rural area of my country, like Kai are. So a lot of these references reminded me of my own experience living in a small village. And I think we're also the same age group. So a lot of the cultural references also make sense to me. And yeah, I like either the music a lot, and that's why it's on the list, or I love the lyrics. In most cases, I love both. I don't speak Swedish, obviously, so a lot of this is through translation, some of it through Google Translate, so a lot of the puns and cultural references probably go right over my head, but I still love a lot of this lyrical content, and I want to share it with you. This was supposed to be a top 10. It grew into a top 20 because I couldn't decide which one to leave out and which one to include. And to be honest, I stopped listening to some of the songs after a while because I thought I can't do a top 50. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this video or something. And I actually lied because it's not a top 20, it's a top 22 because I had 2 more that I did not want to exclude from this. I did not include Bara Bada Bastu, obviously, because everyone already knows that song. And I also didn't include the 2 versions of Nessun Dorma that they did, even though they are incredibly impressive. The vocals and also how fun the lyrics are and the tension between the classical music and these fun lyrics. But I thought this is probably something that everyone has heard about. If you haven't watched my Kai Phenomenon video, I talk about it there for a bit. Now, let's get right to it. Here is my top 22 of the best Kai songs. In 22nd place, I have Västerut.
Jag har gajat och väntat i 20 år och äntligen är jag här.
And by the way, if I pronounce it in a wrong way, let me know in the comments, but I'm doing my best here. I included Västerut because it's about becoming famous in Sweden, so it feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is really fun. They sing, Sweden has opened its arms to me. I feel a whistling westward bound. So if you're from the Swedish-speaking part in Finland and you hear a westward bound whistling, that means you are going towards Sweden, obviously. Sweden, it's calling my name, they sing. And then the song ends with, there's only one thing that matters, I'm going to be famous in Sweden. That's why I included this song, because it's it fulfilled itself, because now they are very famous in Sweden indeed. Then Vems pojk är då?
Och jag längtar och jag väntar, för jag måste få vit vems pojk du är.
Which is one of these songs that I can relate to because it's about a woman, I think, in a village. And there's someone new coming, they know each other, everyone knows who everyone else is, and there's someone new coming in, and this woman is like, who is that? Whose son is that? He has the nose of this and this, and I know that. I have had that question asked to me, whose son are you? Because that's all that matters in a small village. And then at the end of the song, she spends a week trying to figure out who this new guy is. And then at the end of the song, they find out, oh, he was just a Finnish boy who passed through. And I also included this because the song includes the first reference to sauna that I could find, at least in their songs. Bara Bastu, he was just a Finnish boy who wanted to do some sauna. So I find that really cool. The music is quite generic, feels quite 90s, but yeah, love the message for this one. Number 20, Hey Mani Iskik.
Att det mitt förstår att varit två brudar med i skryt och märkes jeans och BMW.
Sounds a bit like a 90s guitar pop song to me, and the lyrics are really fun for this one as well. It's about how in the countryside it is really more important to have 20 hectares of forest to get a girl to like you than to talk about your daddy's BMW that you have the keys for or your designer jeans. And there's one sentence that says something like, if you talk about how rich you are lame. If you talk about that you have a barn, you are gonna get the girl, something like that. And very true and very fun, and that's why it's my number 20. Number 19, Hey Du Maniska.
Vi vandrar jag på jorden, jag köpte mig solen, är det damm och soap.
It looks like they came up with some sort of personas for this song. It also says that Life is singing it, but it's the three of them. So maybe if someone can explain that in the comments, please do. I'm quite interested. The song itself musically reminds me of Bob Dylan a bit. There's a bit of a harmonica in there. And then lyrically, it feels very existential. Reminds me of existentialism because they say stuff like 1 + 1 makes 2. So stuff that is factually true, but then it also says, hey, human, keep walking. And if the road is the only goal, then the goal is to find a road. So a bit like there's no real sense to life. There are some factual things that are true, but otherwise you have to find your road that gives meaning to your life. And I think these lyrics are quite deep actually. So I like that. And I also like the music, which is why it's my number 19. Number 18, Karar I Arbeit, is basically a parody of all of these men, usually, watching construction workers do their thing, excavating and doing stuff. And this is basically a song saying, I'm watching them do the work and doing this and that. And oh, they're doing that. And yeah, it's a fun parody of a lot of men, especially being very interested, like little boys sometimes, and looking at construction sites. Number 17, Text TV. Is a song about waiting all day in the office to finish work, to finally get home, sit on the couch, and you might think, watch Game of Thrones or something. But no, you want to go through the teletext. I know what that is. I'm not sure whether this is a thing in all countries, but it's this thing where you can see on your television these pixelated information news, the programming and stuff like that. I think it still exists. And this is the song that he is very into that and looks at all of it, the lotto numbers, pixelated cats, the weather, some more adult stuff going on as well. And then he sings 899 pages of top quality. So very fun lyrics there as well. And it's a 90s and 80s synth pop song, which makes a lot of sense because these teletext graphics kind of remind me of Tetris as well. So yeah, here the music and the lyrics really work together quite well. Then number 16, Tango Tas.
Undra langs ett golvi och han flög hit och dit. Oj, usho lukta olvi, ja usho lukta sprit.
I would describe this as a country song, and I really love that genre, so I find this really catchy. But the lyrics are very good as well. It's about a 37-year-old still living with his mom, and his mom tells him, well, you gotta find a wife now. And he decides to go to a dance, but he's very shy. And in the middle, he at some point thinks, I don't have the charm for this. I'm not charming enough. I have to go home. But then there's a city girl from Finland who dances tango with him. If someone could explain to me why there's such an obsession in Finland with tango, do let me know. And in the Nordics, maybe in general. I'm quite interested in that. But they dance tango together. They end up in bed together. And then tango gets a second meaning at the end of the song. So catchy song, but also fun lyrics here. And this 37-year-old that lives with his mom is something quite village life also, I think. Number 15, Taco Hey. I said that I don't speak Swedish, but I do speak Spanish. So listening to these stereotypical phrases that they use in the song is very fun. I thought when I listened to the song, this is about being on holiday in Spain or in Mexico because they reference all of these different foods. Very Mexican, actually, not Spanish that much. But then I read the lyrics and it's actually about chilling at home during a cold winter's night and having fajitas and tacos. The best part of the lyrics and the catchiest part of the lyrics is make some Tex-Mex, baby, put on Netflix, baby. Yeah, really fun. And also how they pronounce tortillas, which is exactly how Germans would pronounce it wrongly in Spanish, also made me chuckle. So this is a recommendation for those of you who like Spanish music, because it kind of sounds like a tropical song, but from the early 2000s Eurovision, sent by maybe Spain or maybe even Norway. So yeah. Number 14, Kalna Mat.
Kalna mat, jidi kalna. Usch. Kalna mat, jidi kalna. Nej. Jep. Håll det med, på tal om sånt. Klicka hem, när mat från Volt.
I would say this is a gangster rap, and it's about food being too cold because either you come home from work too late and the food has already cooled off, or the delivery guy, they say Volt's delivery guy is too slow, and then you get the food not hot enough. So it's an anthem for eating food while it's hot, which I can completely agree with. And the best sentence is, room temperature meal is a culinary crime. And putting this to a gangster rap makes complete sense to me, even though it is crazy, but that makes it fun, and that is why it's my number 14. Number 13, Kom till byen.
Ian, tar du teckning i skyen? Kom till byen, kom till byen. Finns sittna för sent eller bitti? Kom till city.
So we stay with the gangster raps for a while. This is a parody, I think, of this whole genre of songs where people rap about their hometown and their hood, East Coast, West Coast stuff as well. But it is about come to our village because we have everything. We have a church, we have a store, we have a fire department. And then later on, they also rap. We have a swamp, a school. Oh, but wait, the school isn't there anymore because it had to close down. And putting this to a gangster rap is just funny to me, but it also talks about some real problems like fertility is low, there will be hardly any of us left. It was hard growing up in the wilderness, lived with raw milk, rye, raw meat and bark, hanging out with animals since I was born. I can relate to that. And I just think putting this to a gangster rap is just quite genius. A lot of you recommended this. It's quite low on my list because I don't love the rap genre. So even if it's funny, I don't really listen to it all that much, but I understand why you think it is a quite genius song. Number 12, Dagar åt böndrin. This is mostly in my list because of the instrumentation, because I love country music and I love a up-tempo country song, which is exactly what this is. Lyrically, it's about, I think, being happy with what you have, because they sing about wanting a horse, but then you get a horse, this stick horse, this toy horse that you can ride around with. You have the head and a stick and you ride around on the stick. So basically, I think being happy with what you have, because the title also translates to, I hope that's right, good enough for farmers. So yeah, love this mostly for the instrumentation. Number 11, Yau Now E Yo Yau Yolo Yanau.
Yo. Yo no, yeah, yo no, yeah no.
Which is a song about a dad who says he's going to a meeting and leaves the house, puts on a leather vest and a flannel shirt. The flannel shirt is appearing in a lot of songs. I find that very funny. And goes to a bar and asks a young, crazy girl whether she wants to dance. And that girl says, well, but are you crazy enough? Are you YOLO enough? And this is what he says. And then they dance. And then the bouncer says, hey, old timer, you're too old for this. You're not fun enough for this. And then he says that again, because it translates as, I should have started with that. Well, yes, I am YOLO indeed. So I'm young enough, basically. And he recognizes the girl he dances with, that it's the daughter of two people he knows, Tom and Gunilla. And then the song ends with him being at home again, and his wife tells him, well, tonight I invited Tom and Gunilla. So, yeah, incredibly fun song. Obviously, the title is fun in itself already, and I dare you to pronounce it if you're not Swedish. Number 11, Jau Nau Ye Jau. Number 10, Pavos Backbrö. This is based on a poem by a Finnish poet about a farmer and his wife going through very difficult times because they are planting their crops and they freeze over and over again. But then once they have a batch of crop that actually grows and they can eat, the wife is very happy, but the husband says our neighbor has problems with his crops, so we have to share now. So it's about going through very hard times, rural life in the past, but still being a good human being and sharing. And the song itself also talks about rye frozen on the field and that you have to add some bark to your bread, so barkbrød, into the dough to, have a bit more bread. And this is apparently something that was done in the Nordics a lot, I think in Germany as well, in the past. And it also says if a stable collapses and all the sheep in it are dead, you will be happy that your son-in-law has a cow. So about hard life, rural life, and this connected to me especially because there is a song like this, quite similar to this, from my own region that also talks about the hard times and the cold winters and stuff like that. So I was kind of reminded of that. And I also love the instrumentation. It feels a bit like a musical number. I think it is from one of their musicals as well. Number 9, Pato Tanakako. This I included because of the music and the lyrics. The music is a parody of K-pop. They also sing Don't Stop K-pop. Ha ha ha. And in the music video, they have all kinds of styles that remind you of K-pop as well. And the music is K-pop basically. But the lyrics, and this is the cool tension that they always create between the lyrics and the music, is about that your grandma invites everyone and there are 7 kinds of pastries on the table. And she says, you've gotten so skinny, you gotta eat more. Here, have some more food, have some more food. And basically saying you might get a slap if you don't eat enough. And then also grandpa gets too slow from all the sugar, they sing. And then he increases the pacemaker to keep up. And grandma shouted and shouted until the whole family explodes at the end of the song. So I love the lyrics here because that also reminds me of my grandma doing exactly the same thing. So this is an experience that everyone can share. And there you see how Kai's songs are very universal in a way as well. Number 8, Pablo's Frestelse.
Bruno, cerveza, cosa. Ditas la grande, quizás por favor. Es como la vida.
I included this one mostly because of the fake Spanish phrases, which make me laugh out loud every single time. And also the lyrics, because this is the story of a couple, I think, if I got the lyrics right, if I didn't, let me know in the comments, flying from Orland to their summer holiday in Spain. And then the wife, Birgit, meets Pablo from Spain, muscles, and he talks to her in Spanish. And so she falls for him and follows him. And Göran, the husband, I'm guessing, or the male partner in the relationship, stays at the pool and contemplates his cowardly ways and then goes home alone while Birgit and Pablo are at the beach, doing things. And then he goes back home and he starts going to the gym and taking Spanish classes just to, get rid of his cowardly ways, I think. I love the story here, but also, as I said, the fake Spanish. Number 7, Älska en gubb.
Kan du älska en gubb? Ännu är det bra, men en vacker dag kommer vi till stan mitt i livet.
The instrumentation here is a ballad for me. It reminds me of Unsubstantial Blues, the Hungarian entry a lot of years ago. And this feels like Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, the Kai version, because the whole song is about... It's quite romantic, actually. It's very funny, but also a bit romantic because it's about falling in love with someone and wanting to spend your life with them. But then you realize, I am going to be an old fart and you will have to put up with me. So the song is asking, can you put up with me when I'm old, when I wear beanies that I got from a bank as a commercial present, wearing long underwear, so lots of things old people apparently do stereotypically, talk about gasoline, complain about my knee joints, and are you sure that you want that, and do you want to spend your life with me, basically. So it's very romantic, but very fun at the same time, and I also love the instrumentation here. Number 6, Det här är min by. So the title translates to This is my village, and I included this even though the lyrics are not as fun as some of the others, but I feel they are quite deep and this message of the song really connects to me. It is a bit of a ballad, and he starts by saying that everything is fine in the village. He doesn't want to have anything new. But then throughout the song, the doubts grow bigger and bigger. He dreams of a paradise where you can choose between more than knitting socks or butchering elk. So it is quite a bit funny, but the message is quite serious, I think. He sings, I dream of a new place where I would fit in, and I don't know what I want. Even if I do the right thing, I will be wrong in some way. And I very much connect to this. I see friends going through this. I went through it a bit myself. This conflict, should I stay where I am from in this small village? Should I go to the bigger city? Where is life better? Is the simple life, kind of simple life in rural areas better, or should I go to the big city where there's more options? And I really understand what this song is about, and that's why it's my number 6. Number 5, Tech Support åt mam och papp. This I included because I can also very much relate to this. It's about how your parents always call you and want you to be the IT guy who solves all their problems. So mom calls with panic in her voice because the iPad is fuzzy, and a farmer looking for a wife is going to be on soon and she wants to watch that. We have that program too. I don't know how it's called in other languages. I didn't know it was actually a thing in other countries, but that made me laugh. And it has to be fixed. You have to come, and then once you fix your mom's iPad, then dad calls because he bought this new expensive watch which with all of these, possibilities, and he doesn't know how to deal with it and he needs your help. And yes, I can relate to that as well. And I also love how the instrumentation here works with the lyrics because it's kind of futuristic, I would say, the music. Number 4, Bao Tian. Not gonna say the rest. This is mostly in here because of the lyrical content, but I also like the instrumentation. It sounds and starts a bit like a church song, and it makes sense once we talk about the lyrics, and then later turns into a country song, so I like that as well. But the lyrics are quite genius and are a bit of a criticism of certain things, because they sing, so then this book must be true, because it says in this book that everything in this book is true. And the book holds the answers about what is right and what is wrong, how to get to heaven. You will go straight to heaven if you follow the book's commands, it says, but not if you're gay. Ask no questions, just believe and follow what the book says, and then you will be fine. So I like that part of the song, but also the instrumentation, which is why it's my number 4. Number 3, pollenallergiker.
För jag är pollenallergiker. Min symptom är väldigt svår. Jag är pollenallergiker.
This is incredibly catchy. This made it to my playlist even before Eurovision finished, and I listened to it more than to Bara Bada Bastu even. Because it is so catchy, but it is also a fun song when it comes to the lyrics. It's about being allergic to pollen. So pollenallergiker is the same word in German, basically. And I almost understood the song without reading the translation, but it's about being allergic to pollen, not being able to leave the house in May because of the pollen, and your nose itches, and there's a list of all the medicine you could take, and it's kind of a call to fight for the rights of people who are allergic to pollen because they are not recognized in society and people don't understand what they are going through. So there's maybe also a bit of a satire or parody in there. But it's a very catchy song. It's very fun to talk about this topic because I can relate to that a little bit, at least as well, this year. And so, That's why it's my number 3. Number 2, Väg I väg.
Väg I väg med fanan är en snyltade gaman är ett skavsår i mitt liv.
So this sounds like a slow country song, a bit of a Schlager maybe. In German you would say a Schunkel song. And when you listen to it, you might say, oh, this is probably about having found the love of your life or loving life in a village or something like that. But no. It's about moving to the suburbs and then living wall to wall, which is Väg I väg, with a neighbor who's 50 years old, who seemed very nice at the beginning, but then he turns out to be a bit of a problem. And the song goes into very specific detail what exactly this neighbor is. I can't tell you everything that's in this song, so check it out for yourself. But I'll give you some examples. Living wall to wall with the devil. He's a parasitic vulture. He's a parasite. He makes my life messy. And just these lyrics set to this very slow country song is amazing to me. And we've all had these neighbors maybe, and that seem nice at the beginning, and then they turn out to be some problematic people. And so I can't stop listening to this. It's also very catchy, but I also love the lyrics. And there are some words in there that make sense in German as well. So it's my second favorite, as you can see. Before I tell you why Viermannsmann is my number 1, do leave some more comments with recommendations, because I'm ready to listen to even more KAJ songs. You now know what I connect with, so maybe there are more songs that I haven't discovered yet. It was a bit like a rabbit hole listening to more and more songs, and I thought if I don't stop now, this video will be 3 hours long, but I'm ready to discover more. So let's get to my number 1, Viermannsmann.
Arbetsmoral som en lutheran. Jobbar 8 timmar om dagen. Egen stolpa, plug-in hybrid. Laddar akkum på arbetstid.
This I included mostly because of the music, because I think it's incredibly catchy. This has been on my playlist for a very long time because it is so catchy. I love the genre mix. It's a bit rapish at the beginning, and then the chorus is kind of like a chant, maybe a Lutheran chant a bit. And I just loved that combination, and it was stuck in my head for a very long time. And then the lyrics, I don't understand 100% maybe. So let me know in the comments what this song is about. I'm going to tell you what I think it is about, okay? And that's true for all of them, by the way. As I said, I got some translations and I told you what I think the song is about. If there's something I missed, do let me know in the comments, because I'm very interested, as you might have noticed. Now, for Viermannsmann, I think this is kind of a parody on all of the perks you get in Sweden and maybe also Finland in the welfare state. Being a company man, that's what Viermannsmann means. Because it's about all the perks you have, the food you get for free at work, all the vacation time. At one point it says, after walking into a wall, the company man says, I don't need a sick leave because I still have my vacation time. So it lists a lot of things that are very positive about working in Sweden or Finland. And I'm not sure whether that's a parody or there's something else I'm missing. And the chorus is, all you have to do to get all these perks is have a Lutheran work ethic. So my interpretation was that Swedes and Finns don't really have that Lutheran work ethic anymore. And that's what the song is kind of parodying, because they get all these perks and they have the welfare state. Not sure whether that is what it's about, but it's intriguing. And so I'm looking forward to your comments. But it is my number 1 because it is so incredibly catchy and interesting when it comes to the composition. So that's my top 20, really top 22 of the best KAJ songs. Do leave more recommendations in the comments for this video. I hope you liked it, and I really hope I didn't say anything that is completely wrong. If I did, do let me know in the comments and educate me. So yeah, thank you for that. Kiitos and tack for all the recommendations you have already given me. And if you liked this video, which I hope you did, do subscribe to the channel. I'm going to make more videos like this about other Eurovision artists probably. So do subscribe, and then I will see you in my next video. See you then, and bye-bye.